What's going on, my friends? I'm just checking in here. I'm doing well here, and I hope you guys are as well. Getting some music done here. I'm kind of like last 2 months of the year, really humping it to finish the year out strong. So we're going to do that musically. I don't know if I mentioned that this year I had gotten access to this road rally. It was virtual this year. I've never been to one of these taxi road rallies. They say the in-persons are great. There's a lot of classes. And from what I've seen on the virtual one, it really is cool. They have some really good speakers. Some of the guys on there are some publishers I'm signed with and some people I've dealt with and a couple I think I've met at the music conferences. But I think one of the most interesting things was Mike had, Mike Lasclo had a really good editor she edits for a lot of big TV shows. She's done for a lot. Her and her husband are in the industry pretty heavily. Her name is Laurel Ostrander. Really good editor. You can look her up. She has an IMDb and she's done a lot. But some of her advice is something I talked about the other day. And this is the thing about, even if you don't submit music to Taxi, and that's another thing I want to talk about. After this week, I'm kind of thinking, God, I did Taxi years ago, and it didn't work for me, and someone's trying to get me to, renew it this year. I did to see if I could submit some music. However, I don't know. They hold your music hostage. If you get a forward, you don't even know if you're going to get a response from that publisher. And that's the thing about it. They talk about, well, it could be 3 months before they do it. And I like to get my music committed. I like to, but I don't want to bug these people. So it's a different system. Some of you have probably done Taxi. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But she spoke, when Mike was interviewing her, and I don't know if they're going to later show tidbits from the rally and the interview with her, but I think he said that he wanted to get her on later to talk more about this because she had some great points. And I had talked about this the other day about supervisors, but editors, they don't have but about 10 to 15 seconds to listen to your music. Your titles, she said, your titles are so important because that's going to catch their eye. You can't have a dark tension track and call it Dancing in the Rain. They're going to overlook that. They're going to think it was just mistagged. Next. But they also, too, look at your waveform. I've said this before. Some of them, like she said, she goes, come to think about it, I do, and I don't even realize I do it. Because what they're looking for is dynamic. One, they're looking for if you have a way to get in and out of that track. In other words, edit points. If they're looking for a good certain types of music, if it's just drones, it's probably, they don't think much of it. But if they're looking for, say, a good crime tension track, they're looking for drops in the audio and dynamics. You can look at the waveform. You can tell that you've gone to different parts and that you have drops in it and such. So it's very important that you think about that. That's not the first time that I have heard that. I've heard it on numerous occasions. Even at the Production Music Conference, there were guys that talked about that. But if you've got what they call a big Snickers bar and everything's there, the chances are you're probably going to pass up on it. 3, they don't have it about 10 to 15 seconds, as I said, to listen to your audio. They'll go and they'll bump the intro to see if it goes somewhere. I said that. That sounds familiar to you. And they'll hit the center part to see if it's dynamic or has changes up. And then they'll hit the ending and see if you have a good, what they call a stinger ending, guys. And it really is important to do. Very important. So I would keep those things in mind. But anyway, all is well. I'm getting it done here. Finishing up a track here, and I am, finishing out my year strong, but I want to get on and maybe talk about some more things. But it was an interesting conference this week. I couldn't get into a lot of the panel stuff I already knew about, but I think some of the most interesting is that he interviewed a lot of music supervisors that were critiquing music. I thought that was very cool. So, but anyway, this is what I'm working on today. Stuff like that, and it ends like this. So basically they go, I'll see what the intro goes, they'll bump through, do this. See if it has an ending. Anyway, but all's cool. We'll talk to you guys on the next video, and I appreciate you for watching. Be cool. Bye.